on. Look at that.
Don't be quiet. I'm not used to this whole Zoom thing. I do see a couple people. I see someone else. Can they hear us?
Yes.
Oh, hi. We're just meeting. We don't know all. I just met this person because we thought the meeting was at 7.
Oh, that Melissa Mason, I think she was on last night.
Oh, okay. So is this gonna be where they just start, someone teaches us?
I think so.
Oh, okay. So we will just push on their picture?
So, no, if you,
Oh, that's mine. That's the lady that signed me up, Candace. Right.
There she is.
At the bottom. There she is.
Hi.
Hi, Candace. Hi.
We were getting on just a little bit early so we can work out some kinks on making sure we can get started on.
Okay, are we recording?
We are recording now. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the New to Oils class. We are going to go ahead and get started. Still waiting on, oh, there's Marissa, yay! So we are going to have kind of a fast-paced intro to oils, oils basics, new to oils, whatever you want to call it. I'm really excited. This is the first time we've done it kind of in this format where we're going to have a whole bunch of different people sharing. And I love that because we all learn from each other. That's what is one of my favorite things about Young Living, is that we are always here to help each other and support each other and learn with each other and from each other. So I think this class is going to be a perfect example of that. So if you are brand new to all of this, please, as we go, jot down your questions to ask us later or put them in the chat as soon as you have them. You should be able to, whether you're on your phone or your iPad or your computer or whatever, somewhere there's a little thing that says chat. Please feel free to ask any questions as we go in there. And then the rest of you who are not so new to oils and maybe can help answer those questions, please keep an eye on that chat and answer any questions as we go. Because typically when you're the one speaking, you're not even like seeing the chat because you're just trying to figure out what you're talking about. So that's the case for me. If I'm talking, I'm not looking at the chat. But keep those going and we will help each other out as we go. And then as others are talking, you know, we can fill in and answer those questions. So thank you all so much for being here. We are going to talk about oils. We are going to talk about the premium starter kit with Young Living. So if you're not yet a member, that is just the most popular way that most people get started. So Young Living obviously is essential oils, but it's a lot more than that. It's really just a healthy home product store. Everything you need to run a healthy home, Young Living offers. But a lot of people get started because of the essential oils, and we have over 600 products, so we cannot talk about all of those products. So we always kind of start with that premium starter kit. So that's what we're going to go through tonight, and we're going to talk about some of the basics, how to use the oils safely, all of those types of things. Like I said, feel free to put any questions you have in the chat as we go along. So the first thing that I'm going to say is, what are essential oils? If you're brand new, you may not even really know what that means. Some people have kind of a misconception that they are just fragrance or perfume. That's kind of how you see them portrayed a lot of times in stores or in candles or perfumes or things like that. But what essential oils are is basically just the lifeblood of aromatic plants. So when you mow your lawn and you smell that fresh cut grass smell, or when you get, you know, a brand new bouquet of flowers sitting on your table and it just kind of permeates throughout the kitchen, that is essential oils. So when you smell that, you have safely experienced essential oils right there. That is just the oil inside those plants that are letting off those aromatic properties. And for the plant, like I said, it's kind of the lifeblood of the plant. It protects it, it provides nutrients and oxygen and does all these wonderful things to the plants. So if we properly grow those plants and properly harvest them and distill them, we can take those oils and get some of those same benefits for our bodies. So that's kind of the goal here. We use essential oils for health. Yes, many of them smell good, but that to me is just kind of a byproduct. Like that's a bonus if they smell good. I use them for my health and wellness. So that's kind of the topic that we're going to be going through tonight. And the next thing we're going to talk about is how to use the essential oils. So I believe Kelly is going to share that with us.
Hello. So April was talking about smelling and smells, which I am I'm a sniffer, so I like to smell things a lot. And so that's what I enjoy a lot about essential oils. But that's one of the primary ways to use essential oils is by smelling them. So you can use a diffuser, which I think somebody's going to talk about a little bit later. You can sniff them right out of the bottle, or sometimes just put a few drops in your palms and smell them. When we smell things, our olfactory sense is tied into our limbic brain. And so our limbic brain is the part of our brain that is responsible for our feelings, our emotions, our memories. And so oils can be very therapeutic in that fashion because they are so deeply tied into that region of our brain. So that's a really important and a really valuable way that we can get oils into our system and into our lives is by smelling them. So the second way to use oils is by ingesting them. I don't have a vitality oil on me, but Young Living has two different, I probably have one behind me unless somebody's got one there. There, April's got one. So that is a vitality label, which is labeled for ingestion. The FDA says that you cannot have something for cosmetic use and for, sorry, April, you're muted, but ingestibles. So Young Living went ahead and labeled things as vitality to kind of notify people that they're safe for ingestion. So some folks will do that just by adding things into their water to dilute them. So lemon is a primary example that's great to just add a little bit to your water. Peppermint, which can kind of freshen up your breath and sometimes aid in digestion as well. Or you can put them in gel capsules if you're trying to maybe get a few more oils in for different benefits. Then the third way is to use them topically. Some oils are more hot or have more heat than others, so you have to be kind of careful, especially if you have sensitive skin, and maybe dilute them with a carrier oil like a V6 oil that Young Living sells, or maybe some coconut oil, almond oil, things like that before applying to your skin. But the skin is also a very valuable way to get the oils into our system. So 3 ways: smelling or olfactory, topically, and then ingesting the oils. You're muted.
Thank you very much. That is perfect. All right. Marissa, do you want to share some of your experience with why Young Living is amazing with us?
Hello, everyone. So let's talk about why Young Living. Did you know that the FDA has almost no regulations and safety measures on the essential oil industry? Right, April? The oils found in drug and big box stores, online, and even from other oil companies have been tested to find harsh synthetic fillers and chemicals. This yields an adulterated oil that can still be labeled 100% pure. That's very alarming to me, and I hope it is to everyone else as well. That's where Young Living decided to rise above and create their own strict guidelines to ensure purity. This is where their seed to seal commitment comes in. That means you're getting the best product from the very beginning, with the quality of soil they use, to the seeds that they hand pick, all the way until the end when they seal up the bottle and send it to you. Who does that? Young Living, that's who. They source all products from carefully vetted corporate-owned farms, partner farms, seed to seal certified suppliers. They test them exclusively, and if any product doesn't meet their standards, they don't buy it or they reject the batch. They even exceed the certified organic requirements as well. They abide by very strict guidelines to fulfill their promises in sending only the best products to your home. They have sustainable farming and sourcing practices, providing the purest oils. They're great care taken to preserve and protect natural resources, hand-weeded fields, and zero use of pesticides. Oils that retain all their natural constituents and therapeutic properties. Their use of food-grade distillers with state-of-the-art design and distillation methods. Low pressure and low temperature distillation without any use of solvents or synthetic chemicals like many other companies use. They have rigorous testing on each batch by internal labs and third-party facilities. Oils that are carefully reviewed through every step of production in order to meet and exceed industry-safe and purity standards. Now you can all sleep well tonight knowing that you are getting the absolute best products from the most amazing company. Did you know that you can also visit the farms? I had the privilege of going to the lavender farm in Mona, Utah twice. What an eye-opening experience that was. I've done all my research. I knew about the Seed to Seal commitment, but when I arrived at the farm and saw them planting and hand weeding the plants, I was truly blown away. We had the privilege of speaking with the gentlemen who were hand weeding the lavender fields. They were excited to tell us about their love for lavender. You can also help harvest at many of the farms. I suggest if you have never visited one of the farms, you go on holiday for a visit so you can have the same eye-opening experience I have had as well as many others have had.
Absolutely. Thank you. I second all of that. It is, you know, when you care about your health, like you have to care about it all. I was just telling somebody, they were asking for recommendations about tea. And I'm like, well, tea needs to be organic because it's one of the most highly sprayed pesticides. And I care about everything I put in. No one is shocked. I'm sorry. I just ruined your day. But those are the kinds of things that until you know, you don't know. And that's how I was with the oils in the beginning. It's like, oh yeah, you know, like I'm a hippie. I like natural stuff. Give me all the oils. And then I started learning about it. I'm like, whoa, there's a big difference. I cannot just be going to the health food store and assuming they have good stuff because that's not how this works. So anyway, thank you for all the details, Marissa. Do you want to also go ahead and start us off with the oils and talk about Valor?
Right. Hello again. I've been asked to speak about Valor, but first, have you ever wondered if you can use essential oils around your pets? Wait, the internet says, never mind what the internet says. Come learn from those of us who use Young Living products around and on our pets. So one of our cats, Tink, she was scared of everything. She would hide if she heard a noise. She was nowhere to be found if anybody ever even walked into our home, let alone walked up to the door. She was afraid of absolutely everything. So I started using Valor on her, also known as Liquid Courage. It took a while, but I saw a dramatic change in her. Now, unfortunately, she has a little bit too much liquid courage and she rules our home. So she might need a little stress away or peace and calming in her life, but I'm sure somebody else will talk about those products soon. But yeah, it's just amazing how plants can actually help not only us, but they can help our pets and those surrounding us. Even just like applying it on us, diffusing it, they smell it and it helps them as well. So definitely just make sure that you're diluting if you have questions about using them on pets. There's multiple of us, I'm sure, that would love to help you do that, but we would definitely like to see it benefit our pets as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Candace, feel free to jump in.
Yes.
And for all of you, if you have the list and know when you're going, I don't need to come in every time. So don't feel like you have to wait on me. Just jump right in. If it's your turn, feel free.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So I'm going to start with the oil that I first used when I got started with Young Living. So let me know if y'all are having any issues with my internet feed or any of that kind of stuff. All right, Thieves. So you're going to get this in the premium starter kit if you got the oils kit. And it comes in the Vitality version. So we explained that. But I started using this one because I had a friend that I knew did natural remedies, right? And I'm already allergic to a major antibiotic, already had built up a resistance to another major antibiotic. And I was like, whatever I can do, I know I'm coming down with something, my throat's bothering me big time. And whatever I can do to keep from getting put on medicine. That's what I wanted to do. So she's like, come on over to my house. I've got some Thieves oil. It's major immune support. That's what your body needs right now. And so I started using it. I was doing it in a tea. So this is the dietary version. And this is the color label, topical and aromatic. And everything in that bottle is the same exact oil, just a different label, just so that doesn't confuse you. But I would put the Thieves in my tea, and I would do 1 to 2 drops in my tea, and I would drink it several times a day. Plus, I was rubbing Thieves on the outside of my throat. Most of you, especially if you're new to oils, might want to mix that with a carrier oil. So mix it with some coconut oil on your skin so it doesn't feel like it's burning or tingling. And just rub it on the outside of your throat if you're having any throat issues, or, you know, you can do the tea. But I was doing both. I was feeling so much better by day 2, and I didn't have all that crud in the back of my throat and all that kind of stuff anymore. I kept doing it for a full 5 days, and completely better. So anytime I start to feel a little bit under the weather, I immediately go for my Thieves. And so I want to give you a little bit of background on Thieves. This is exactly what I was shared, the information about how it came about. This is actually a blend, and it has lemon, clove, rosemary, eucalyptus, and cinnamon in it. Cinnamon and clove are both considered the hot oils, so just keep that in mind. But these oils, so back during the plague, there were these thieves, so you get the name Thieves blend, and they were robbing all of the dead people of the valuables, right? And so they had not gotten sick, they got caught, and in exchange for them not going to prison instead, or jail, whatever, they wanted to know what kept them from getting sick, because everybody else was catching it and of course getting sick and dying. They had rubbed all of those herbs all over them, and that kept them from getting sick. So you guys naturally understand why Thieves is such a hot commodity right now. And everybody's like, you know, our Thieves starter kit was out of stock for a while. Everybody was wanting to buy it all up and use it. So I'm going to share with you the other Thieves products that come in the premium starter kit. You've got your Thieves spray here. Now I keep this in my car or in my purse, and my Thieves hand sanitizer. You can see mine's kind of worn because I carry it and use it all the time. Here's the cool thing about this hand sanitizer. It has aloe in it. It takes a very tiny little bit. You see that little tiny bit on my hand. It has aloe in it and denatured alcohol. Well, what makes it denatured where it's not harmful for you is because they use the cinnamon and peppermint oils in it, and it makes it safe for you. And the aloe keeps your hands from getting super dry. So all those people out there that have been using the hand sanitizer, the antibacterial ones and stuff like that, and they have super dry hands right now, mine and my kids have been good because we've been using this. Plus, the Thieves actually acts as a barrier on your hands. So then when you're touching stuff while you're out, it's actually helping you. Now, the Thieves spray. what I like to do with this is I like to spray it on a cart if I'm going to go use a cart in the grocery store. If we go to like a restaurant, or if we're like in the mall and eat at the food court or something, I get this out and I spritz the table and I wipe it down with a napkin. So easy little ways. You can clean the toilet seat with this, you know, if you're going in a public restroom or any of that kind of stuff. Super easy way, but it's all plant-based. So you don't have to worry about it being harmful. You could actually squirt it in your mouth. I used to use it as a throat spray a long time ago, but then they came out with Thieves cough drops. So that like was the solution right there as far as that goes. So that's just a quick, in a nutshell, about Thieves. They do have an entire line, and we can talk about that another time, but check that out because it's so, so good to have on hand. And so I'm going to go ahead and also share about lavender. Okay, so I'm going to share some not so typical uses. Lavender, everybody knows, is super calming. You can use it to help you sleep. I have friends of mine who do a little spray and they spritz their pillows with it and all that kind of stuff. And it works amazing for that. But I also have two very active little boys that were getting hurt all the time. And my son, Logan, was at a friend's house and he had done like a zip line. And when he got to the end, you know, it can be kind of jerky. And so his legs flew up and then he came back and his head hit where it attaches. And he was super brave, you know, and everything. It wasn't crying because we were around a lot of people, but it was a giant knocker. And he wasn't bleeding, but you saw a line going across his forehead where the metal part hit him. So I immediately go to my purse because I carry the starter kit essential oils in my purse on me at all times. And I rubbed that lavender directly on his forehead. Someone else went and got some ice and I put that on. Now, it is amazing for whenever you get those scrapes or bruises or any of that kind of stuff, and it's going to help. I'll tell you, the first thing with that, when you have something like that happen with your kid, is it calms them down. So it's always amazing whenever I go and I get the lavender and I put it on right away, and I put it on the area that it happened. And so right on his forehead, I applied a drop, and then we put the ice on to help with the swelling and all that kind of stuff. Make sure like he didn't have a concussion or any of that kind of stuff. And he was calm. He was able to answer my questions, tell me how he was feeling and all of that. There was another instance where he was in the back of the car and he was using one of my metal nail files to open a toy that we got. I think he was probably 6 at the time, 6 or 7. And so anyways, he cut the top of his finger. So Mom of the Year award right here for giving my child a metal nail file. So anyways, I hurried up, put the car back in park, ran over to his side, and looked at his finger. I had a paper towel, so I wrapped it up and had him hold it for me for a second while I got my lavender out of my purse. We unwrap his finger, I drop the oil directly on his finger, and then we wrap it back up. So when this was happening, he's in the back of the car like like freaking out, and there's blood shooting up on the ceiling of my car and everything, like for real. And so that again calmed him down enough to where I could talk to him, he could talk to me. I took the paper towel off, the bleeding had stopped. I was able to look at it, see if we need stitches, which we didn't. It wasn't that bad. We just got a Band-Aid, put it on. And so there's just some unconventional ways of using lavender, but man, do they work. I'll just mention too that if you have seasonal stuff going on, you can swipe some lavender under your nose before you go outside, and it will help you a lot in that area. And then on to some peppermint here. So you're going to get some peppermint in there. This is the dietary one, the Vitality. You also have topical and aromatic as well. And I personally love to use this one when I get up in the morning and do a drop under my tongue. And then I just take like a nice deep breath in. I close my mouth, breathe in through my nose, and it just wakes you up, gets rid of that brain fog, helps your brain to just start working so you can think clearly, but it also gives you energy. And so it helps with that. Another cool thing is when you're applying stuff under your tongue, that's called sublingual. Technically, that's topical under the tongue. And it goes directly into the bloodstream that way. That is also a quick way for you to help digestive issues, is to go directly under the tongue. And I will take peppermint and I'll rub it directly on my stomach also whenever, you know, I'm having a little upset tummy, ate too much food, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I also love to use this one for muscle support. So achy joints, you know, you're feeling really tight and everything. It helps to get the oxygen flowing. And it's really great to use prior to a workout or prior to a run because it can help your performance in that area. So I think I covered all of mine, and Kelly is going to introduce frankincense.
Here's my buddy Frank. So frankincense, I think, and lavender are probably the most well-known oils that are out there. April's got a Frank. So Frank, there's a lot and not much to be said at the same time about Frank. She's down in some over there. But frankincense is one of the most widely known oils as it dates back into biblical times. Obviously was a gift to the Christ child, as most of us know. And so it was more precious than gold. And the reason it was more precious than gold is that because they knew all of the healing properties of frankincense thousands and thousands of years ago. So frankincense can be very antimicrobial, so help with germs, as can lavenders and thieves. So, you know, all of us together can maybe cure COVID. I don't know. Just saying. And I'm a healthcare provider.
I was literally going to butt in and say, by the way, guys, she actually has a degree to say that, but we didn't say that.
But anyway, I digress. So frankincense can help deepen a meditative practice. It's very grounding, but then also at the same time can help be uplifting. And it's a gem. So it's pretty precious. If you wanted to just sniff it out of the bottle, you can. You know, you just saw April down some. You can anoint yourself with a little on the forehead, whatever you choose to do with your Frank. It's a great one.
Okay, my turn. We're going to talk about lemon. So in the kit, Lemon Vitality is what comes in the kit, which is perfect because what I want to talk about is using it internally. So when I first got my oils, I actually did not start with the premium starter kit. Biggest regret ever, because I ended up buying a starter kit later and adding oils one by one. This was 6.5 years ago. So anyways, when I saw lemon, I was like, sure, I'll buy lemon. That's nice. I'm sure it smells good. It's lemon oil. How, you know, probably nice. But I didn't really ever think of it as a powerful, life-changing oil. But when you research lemon essential oil, there are things I cannot tell you about its powers on this call because they are not FDA compliant. So Google lemon oil benefits. But what I do want to tell you is my personal testimony with lemon oil, and that is that it is something that I started drinking in my water. I get, you know, a glass bottle, or I have this Yeti stainless steel with a glass straw. You don't want to put your oils in plastics because they break down chemicals in plastics. And so I started putting drops of lemon oil in my water every day for urinary tract health and for kidney health. I have a history with massive amounts of kidney stones. And so that is why I started drinking lemon in my water, because it can balance your pH levels and can help with the, with the production of stones. So I actually had a scan done, and I told Melissa Mason is actually who enrolled me and got me started in Young Living. I told her I got a scan done. My kidneys, both sides, are packed with stones. I had been passing them like nobody's business. About 12 in a matter of 4 years. So a few every year. Yeah, Stephanie, it's amazing. So I literally went back for a scan again 6 months later, and there was no stones in my kidneys. And I told the urologist, I said, I've literally changed nothing, because I was a healthy individual at that time. I ate very clean. I had a great diet. I was working out probably 1 to 2 hours a day because I had the time. And so that's the only thing that I changed was lemon essential oil in my water. He's like, what have you been doing? Like, what did you change? And I said, I was so embarrassed sort of to kind of say it, because back then, guys, this was not the mainstream thing to do 6 years ago. Okay. It's only really become popular in the last like 4 years. So I was like, lemon essential oil in my water. And he just kind of smirked and he said, that's literally the best thing that you could possibly be doing for your kidney health. And I was like, what? He's like, my wife uses lemon essential oil from Young Living as well, and I could not recommend it more. So there's my testimony for you on the lemon essential oil. It has helped me with kidney stuff. It has also helped me with UTI, if that ever comes up, and it helps keep those things healthy. So I'm not really on the other side of it trying to rescue myself from being in a bad situation. I'm keeping it from happening. That's my story personally. Lemon's also really refreshing and uplifting. It's very good for focus and retention of things. If you're studying, if you're diffusing the lemon essential oil, you can cook with it. You can remove sticky residue with it. The uses are endless. So do not underestimate lemon oil. And then the next thing I want to talk to you about is Digest. So in the kit is Digest Vitality, and I have no doubt that 99.99% of people open this up, smell it, and go, oh, no, that's definitely not, I'm not going to put that on. When I first smelled it, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I can't stand the smell of anything that's like licoricey. It's that fennel smell. I'm not a fan. Some people really like it. So Digest for me is one that I do under the tongue, and I usually follow it with a drop of peppermint, or I put it in an empty capsule. You can always take your oils and put them in empty gel capsules and push them together, and they're pre-made little pills for you to swallow if you don't want to taste them or smell them on you. So Digest is one that a lot of people will use it, the regular labels Digest, over the stomach, or you can use the Vitality internally. And this is my preferred method because I feel like it's just faster for me. So let's talk about what Digest does. It is for supporting a healthy digestive system. And the really cool thing about oils is they literally work the way that your body needs them to. So if I'm constipated, Digest. If I have diarrhea, Digest. We're just talking about poop here today, guys, so get excited. It's a blend of oils that supports your healthy digestive system. When I was pregnant, I was having issues with heartburn, Digest, okay? So anything that you need digestively, Digest has been amazing. Personally, my husband on our honeymoon night 6 years ago got super sick, both ends, so awfully, like in a coma in the bed, like half dead. It was horrible. And we pulled out all the Digest, all the oils, but this was one that we just kept making him take under the tongue, and it was the only thing that settled things down. That's not such a fun story to remember, and the smell of Digest always reminds him of that sick time. But that and peppermint are the two that we use most for digestive issues. So those were my oils I'm talking about now, but I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Stephanie for Raven.
Okay, so just want to explain, I came straight off the campground. For those that didn't hear about this earlier, is why I've got my hat on. But anyway, I'm so happy to be here and so happy to be teaching again with all of these amazing educators. I get the pleasure of talking about Raven, and it also comes in the starter kit. So Raven is one of the very unique blends that Young Living creates. It's several single oils, including Ravensara, lemon, wintergreen, peppermint, and eucalyptus radiata. It's one that helps support our respiratory systems, and it's also really good, sort of like peppermint that Candace talked about earlier, that's great for before and after exercise or even during. So it helps support our respiratory systems in that it kind of just gives you that, when you inhale it, it clears things up in your nasal passages and also just your airways. If you notice, it does have a different cap than all of the other ones. It's a little safety cap. This is one that when you smell it, it smells like root beer, to children especially. And so of course we don't want them to smell it and think, oh, root beer, and drink it all. So it's good to keep any of the ones that have, and I'm gonna touch on another one, any of the ones that have a safety cap, kind of keep those out of the reach of kiddos so they don't want to ingest a whole bunch of them all at once. And kids, of course, always need guidance with using the oils. So ways to use Raven, of course, for respiratory stuffiness. We've used them for we use that one for chest congestion. Typically, if we're having those issues, then we will use it in a diffuser at the bedside all night long. One thing I want to add also, Marissa talking about animals, another point, so our animals have never slept in our room, but if you're diffusing this one, always just keep a door open so animals can come and go. They know when they've had enough, and their livers metabolize things a little bit differently. Our oils are safer to use around animals because, like Marissa said, they are 100% pure, and there's nothing in them, you know, other chemicals that can harm them, like other cheaper, not as natural, pure oils. Another way that you can use this is to just inhale it right out of the bottle. That's another way to diffuse, and it just opens up those sinus passages almost instantly. If you want to just put a drop in the palm of your hand, rub it around, and then inhale 3 times, that's another way you can use it. So also, what a lot of us like to do, and in your kit comes these little roller balls, and you can use those by taking your dropper cap off, and then you can put your roller cap on. It's called a roller fitment, and you tighten the lid down, and then you can turn it quickly into a roller. You can get those from Young Living. They're called Aroma Glide. It comes in a pack of 10 for $10. I love to use it with Raven, and then you can just, you know, apply it to your chest, apply it, you know, over your throat. Definitely, if you're new to oils, using a carrier oil like coconut oil is highly recommended, just to be sure you don't have any skin sensitivities. So basically, you would use Raven how our grandmothers used to recommend that we use Vicks. Rub it on your feet, rub it on your chest. It's just a safer and healthier version, of course, than Vicks, as we know. Another way that we also like to use it is applying it to your chest and then take a warm washcloth, like a warm, wet compress. And that just, with any of the oils, it just drives it in a little bit deeper. So that's how we like to use that also. And then each of my kids actually, there's these little, they look kind of odd, but there's these little portable inhalers that you can get off of Amazon, and you can put, it just takes as little as 3 or 4 drops to put this. There's a little cotton wick on the inside. these are great to keep in your purse, to keep in a book bag, and just inhaling that, of course, teaching children, don't stick this up your nose. You don't want the oils up inside your nose. But again, my kids love, having these. My son even has one. I noticed the other day cleaning out his room, he has one that I made him a long time ago, just right by his bed. So that's another way that you can use Raven. The next oil I'm going to talk about is Panaway. And again, this is another one that has the safety cap. Also, because this Raven and Panaway contain wintergreen, which smells very inviting, to children. Wintergreen reminds them, going back to our memories, when they smell wintergreen or anything that has wintergreen in it, or anything that wintergreen is in, it reminds them of gum. So again, they could smell this and think, oh, it's gum, and they'll want to drink it, whatever. But with the safety cap, that makes it a little bit safer. So what Panaway is used for, it used to be called Panaway, and then when FDA got fussy about compliance, they switched it over to Panaway. They took the I out. It just really helps our family. We use it for anything we need for muscle aches, joint aches. It's another unique blend containing wintergreen, which stimulates all of our senses. Helichrysum is great for inflammation issues. Clove has always been used in dental practices for its numbing properties. And peppermint, as we've discussed, is just great for cooling. It just gives you that cooling sensation. And how we use this, you just kind of apply it wherever you need it. If you need it on your elbow, if you need it on a knee, we mostly use it on our back and our necks. We've got terrible back and neck issues in our family. Our son Nathan actually uses this one the most. So he plays football, he plays basketball, he does track, used to lifeguard, but now our pool's not open. So anytime he has a workout, he has a whole container of Epsom salts up in his bathroom. He'll throw a cup of Epsom salts in the bathtub with 3 to 4 drops of Panaway, and that's what he uses to soothe his muscles after workouts. So again, you can diffuse this one, but I think typically the most common way is you just apply it, smell it, inhale it out of the bottle, throw it in the bath with Epsom salts. So that is a great way to use Panaway. And that's all.
All right, Amy, you want to tell us about peace and calming? If you can get unmuted, or whoever is the host, if you can unmute her. There, maybe? No, I still don't hear you. I don't know about anybody else.
No, I see you're talking, but I don't hear anything.
Lisa Reed, do you want to go ahead and go, and Amy can play around and see if she can get hers going? I think you're after her.
Okay.
Amy, maybe try signing back in, Amy.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Lisa. Yep,
Okay,
go ahead.
great. Yeah, because we're out in the car here, so I'm hoping my internet connection actually stays put. But yes, I'm going to talk about the Stress Away. And Stress Away is a beautiful blend. It's a mix of lime and copaiba, cedarwood, and lavender, ocatia, and all in a mix of vanilla. This was my favorite one in the very beginning when we first started. And I think it's because it reminded me of the vanilla candles that I missed. And so this is a great one to diffuse as an option, so you don't have the different toxins from the burning of the candles. And but you can also use it as others have mentioned, just breathing it in, or even having it in a little roller bottle, you know, in your purse, so you can pull it out when you're not, you know, when you're kind of in a stressful situation. Or I roll it on my wrists, or the favorite place I do is right at the base of my my neck, right here, and all over my shoulders. But I really like this one because it's not only just for relaxation, but it also is stimulating at the same time. So I think it's just the citrus compound involved. We discovered too that I brought my little soap out here, but we just made some foaming hand soap one time, and I just grabbed this one because I thought it smelled good, and we loved using it. But we realized the effect that it was having as a facial wash, that it was really helping our skin. And with so many different allergies that my daughter and I have, or daughters and I have, it was just a real nice benefit. And then when we started looking at the constituents of the oil, it made sense, with lavender and cedarwood and ocotillo all being really, really good for your skin. So it not only is relaxing, but it has so many different therapeutic value as well. So that's all I have to say about the stress away.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. I saw Amy pop back on. Amy, feel free to talk if you can, and we'll find out if we can hear you. But that's a great tip. All right.
Okay. It was something in my settings that wasn't letting me talk. So tonight I'm going to share a little bit about peace and calming. This is actually peace and calming too, but it's very similar in what it does. It's just been a very big blessing, I think, in our family's life for multiple reasons. This oil really intrigued me when I first heard about it, because they talked about how comforting and calming it was, especially for children that were probably more overactive. And I happened to have one of those kids, or a couple of them. And one of my children had a really hard time just settling down at night. He would sit on his bed, he would be bouncing, he would not go to sleep. And I remember thinking the first time that I put this on his feet at night that I really hoped it would work, but I was so surprised at how well it worked for him. Because when I went back downstairs to check on him later, I saw that he had gone to sleep, and he was like sound asleep with his arm off the bed and his leg. So I knew he was like super relaxed. We also love this oil for another reason. My 5-year-old is also a very busy child and very active. And last fall, she kept getting urinary tract infections. And one of those times that she got one, her heart started racing. And so this is one of the oils that I thought about using. And so we just applied it over her heart, and it just helped calm her down immediately. Also, right before the big lockdown, I know everyone's thrilled to hear about that, but for her, I think the stress of it all, she could pick up on that. And so she was kind of staying up at night a lot. She would wake up multiple times. And we could not for weeks get her to go to sleep and sleep all night. So we started changing some things up. We started applying peace and calming on her. And that very first night, she literally slept through the whole night. And for parents like myself, we were very thrilled, because when your children don't sleep, you don't sleep either. And so we noticed through a period of time, she was just sleeping better. There was one night we missed putting this on her, and that was the night she woke up. So I knew this is the reason why this was working. So peace and calming, you can use topically, you can use it aromatically. We love applying it over our kids' hearts. You can put it on their neck. You can put it on the bottoms of your feet if you like. If you don't know about it already, they also have a roller bottle, which comes already ready to roll on. I finally broke down and bought this because I was tired of putting it in my hand and putting it on her at night. And so now I can just go along and just roll it on her. But if you have children that are overactive, maybe have sensory issues, kind of like one of my kids have, this one will be a big blessing to you. So definitely grab this if you haven't already, or try it, because I think you will fall in love with it. So.
All right, so I'm going to talk about Citrus Fresh. So the Vitality is the one that actually comes in the kit, but I got off work late, so I couldn't run and get my Vitality. I grabbed what I had. So Citrus Fresh is a blend of really a lot of citrus oils, has orange and peppermint, goodness, orange and lemon and grapefruit. And then it has a little bit of spearmint in it too. So if you're one of those like I was addicted to Diet Coke. And I had gradually been weaning myself, but I still wanted soda. So this was a great substitute for that. It was just a nice little refreshing when you're tired of drinking straight water. I put a couple drops of the Vitality in my water, and it was just nice and uplifting. And I felt like it was just a change from water. I don't really care for flavored water, so I felt like this wasn't like the normal like commercial flavored waters. It just has a different taste to it, and it's delicious. You can also diffuse Citrus Fresh. It's great at kind of uplifting a room. So if you're feeling a little down, or if you're having trouble concentrating, if you want to, like I'm in school right now, so I use it when I'm studying. It's just a great, nice little uplifting smell. And helps me focus a little bit. And then the other thing that I love to talk about is Ningxia. So Ningxia is an awesome supplement. It is made from goji berries or wolfberries, which Young Living has a farm in Ningxia, China. And then it also has plum and cherry, acai, blueberry. All those are pureed down and strained into this awesome supplement. 1 to 2 ounces a day is what they recommend, and I highly encourage everyone to try it. There are 30-day Ningxia challenges that you can do, and I did one a few years ago, and I really noticed, not so much when I was taking it did I notice like drastic changes, but when I stopped taking it, so I did my 30-day challenge, and then we went on vacation for a couple of weeks, and for a week, and then I didn't pick it back up. And I noticed that I was just lagging, and I realized that I hadn't been taking my normal like coffee in the afternoons every day. I didn't have that like 2 p.m. slump that I always have. And then I noticed too that my mental health was better. It is really high in B vitamins and vitamin C. It is one of the highest, the goji berry is one of the highest in antioxidants, and it's also fairly high in melatonin. It's like a natural source of melatonin. So some people, it gives them energy. I probably would say a majority of people that I talk to that take Ningxia, it gives them energy. But some people, it actually helps relax them. So some will take it before they go to bed. So it's really a great supplement, and you kind of have to figure out how you want to use it and how your body reacts to it. It's also really high in fiber. It has all of the amino acids that you need. It's got 13% protein. So it's a great supplement to have. And then of course, being Young Living, they add some essential oils to it too. So it has tangerine and orange, and it's all around totally worth it. And then of course, once you get all these amazing oils, I'll transition to the next thing, which is essential rewards. So once you get started with these awesome oils, you realize that you need more and more, and you realize all the things that Young Living has. So they do have a whole thieves line. They have a Ningxia essential rewards kit, which is the best deal, the best way you can get it. They have supplements and makeup
and every personal care product you could imagine, deodorant, toothpaste. So once you start figuring out how awful some of these things are in your life and how bad some of the ingredients are on the stuff that you normally buy, you learn you can swap them out for something that Young Living has. And Essential Rewards makes it super easy to do that. So you spend at least 50 PV, which is personal volume, which is typically equal to the dollar amount. And then every month you build up points. So in addition to those products that you're buying, you're also getting points back that you can redeem for other things. So for the first 3 months, you get 10% back. And then for the next up to 24 months, you get 20% back. And then after 24 months, you get 25% back. So for every $100 I spend, I get 25 points back. And it's fantastic. I like to splurge on things that I wouldn't normally buy for myself with those points. So I will buy the fancy face moisturizers. There's a skin serum that I just recently bought that's amazing. Some people like to buy normal products. They go ahead and splurge and spend their money on their Essential Rewards on the nice stuff, and then they buy all their thieves cleaner or their laundry soap or their dish soap with their points. So it's a great system. There's also gifts. So when you've been on ER for 3, 6, 9, and then yearly, so 12, 24, etc. months, you get free oil. And then there's also a monthly, I'm sorry, my earpieces keep falling out. And then there are also monthly freebies. So if you spend 100 PV, you usually get one bonus oil for the month. And then there's tiers at 190, 250, and 300. So you can get a lot of cool oils. That's how I've learned about a lot of oils that I've been curious about, is by getting them for free. And then I realize how awesome they are. Like, for example, M-Grain. If you are a chronic headache sufferer like I am, it's amazing. So I'll let April kind of fill in with what I...
Yes, that is perfect. I totally agree with all of that. I echo all of that. I was one of those silly people that did not start Essential Rewards when I got my first premium starter kit. I thought, no, I'll just try stuff and I'll see, what I think. Well, the very next month, I put in another like $300 order because, of course, I fell in love with everything. And even on that order, I still did not join Essential Rewards, which means I literally threw away $30 in cash back and like $300 in free product because I didn't join the rewards program. And as you can tell, I'm still a little bit bitter about it 6 years later. So don't be like me, just do it. When you join, they didn't actually have this option when I started, and probably when a lot of us started. They've made it easier and easier as time goes on. And now you can actually join with your kit, which is amazing because you can literally just put your premium starter kit on Essential Rewards and you don't have to make any additional purchase. It's literally just by the click of a button, you're automatically on. And that means you're earning 10 points back, which are like dollars. It's like Kohl's Cash, but way better because it's Young Living. And so you're earning that $10 back that you can spend on whatever you want later. And they're also going to throw a free oil in your box just for joining. So it's a wonderful rewards program with all the benefits that Sarah listed. Plus, I can't remember if she mentioned the discounted kits. There's extra kits that you get discounted too. I think maybe she mentioned that. So yeah, so many good benefits. And now, before I forget, Catherine is actually going to show us what comes in the bottom of your box before I show you kind of the kit options, because we have more than just the oil kits. We have a bunch of different kits. So make sure you check those out in case the oil one isn't the one that you want to get started with. It's just the most popular, and so that's why we kind of broke it down. But I'll tell you all of the options after Catherine shows us the secret compartment.
Okay, so when you get your starter kit and you open your box, you get, most of you, if you get the oil kit, you'll have a diffuser box and you will have this box, which is where your oils are. And I cannot tell you how many times people have not realized that there is another compartment. So this is how you open it. Pull that sleeve off, pretty little box here. There's a ribbon tab, pull it. There's your little materials for learning and getting started. And here's your oils. And everybody's like, oh, this is great. And then they don't go any further. This is a big box to not have anything under there. Pull this tab and your oils come out. Still looks like there's nothing else in there. Pull this tab. It's a treasure hunt, guys. Look at all this. Don't miss this. We've talked about these tonight. We have, these are your bonus products that they throw in here for you. You get 2 samples of the Ningxia Red that Sarah talked about. You get Stress Away. You get a roller fitment like Stephanie was talking about earlier that pops onto the top of your bottles. You get 2 of those. You get Peace and Calming. You get the Thieves Spray and you get the Thieves Hand Sanitizer. So do not forget the treasure at the end of the opening of this box, okay? And then, of course, you get your diffuser. And there's different ones, but I'm just going to show you because they come with instruction kits or instructions, so I'm not going to read all this or tell you all about it. But basically, every single one of our diffusers is amazing. They usually have a cover of some kind that comes off and then a top that opens up. And it'll show you where to fill the water up, and you just drop, 2 to 6 drops of essential oils, depending on your preference. Pop the lid back on after you fill it with water and oils and plug it in. And there is a button, an on button. You can do intermittent misting, so it'll go longer throughout the day. And you can also do no light, a different shade of light, or a candle flicker mode in this one. So make sure you read your book so you know all the options and usages for your diffuser, and make sure you look for your secret hidden compartment because those are some awesome treasures down there. We don't want you to throw in the garbage.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much. Lots of stuff. All right, real quick, I'm going to show you some of the options here. So like I said, we talked about, hopefully you can see my screen, in the top left corner, that is the premium starter kit that we talked about. That is all the products that we talked about, all of the oils, you get 2 samples of the Ningxia Red, the Thieves Hand Sanitizer, the Thieves Spray, the diffuser, the roller fitments, all the goodies. Sorry. That's annoying. But then we also have the Ningxia Red as a starter kit. So if you're like, okay, that juice sounds amazing, I need all of the antioxidant support, I just want to get started with that, we have a starter kit for that. If you're like, I want to swap out everything in my house and I want to replace, just kind of my home care products, we have a Thieves starter kit for that. And then one thing we didn't actually talk about tonight, because like I said, 600 products, is CBD. Young Living also has the best CBD on the market, and we have a starter kit for that. So I just wanted to show you at a glance. Obviously, we didn't go through the details of all of these kits, but we kind of highlighted several of the products. So these are the kits that are premium starter kits. And what that means is you get all of these all of these products at like half off when you buy them as a starter kit. And then with that, to me, the best part is you now have a wholesale membership. And what that means is you get 24% off of anything else you choose to buy. There's no requirements, there's no minimums. It doesn't mean you have to sell things. It literally just means you get a discount. And then you also have the opportunity to share with your friends, use your referral link, because I promise people will ask you. People, when you're telling them your testimonies and you're telling them what DiGi's did for you, they're going to be like, ooh, how do I get some? And you just send them your link. It's the easiest thing ever, and we can help you with that as well. But those are your options for Premium Starter Kit. And now I'll show you a few more breakdowns here. So we have several different ways that you can do this, kind of like packages. So this is kind of the big bang package. This is you saying, I want to jump all in. I want all the oils we talked about. I want to replace the items in my home. I want to do a wellness check on my body. Give it all to me. Lots of people do that. And that would be this package. As you can see, you are getting $1,300 worth of product in this package here for less than $500. And this is literally just a whole home and body makeover. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, the other cool thing about Young Living is they do all of these freebies for us and all of these bonuses that Sarah kind of mentioned. When you're on Essential Rewards, you get to try these new products that you probably wouldn't have tried otherwise, but because they were free, now they become some of your favorite products. Those in the right-hand corner are for this month. So every month they offer different promotions. Every month that changes, make sure you check on the first of the month what the monthly promos are, because it may change how you want to order that month based on what the free items are. Those shown in that are the free items for this month. Then the next thing is if you're like, I'm not sure about that, but I do want some of that Thieves stuff. So then this would be your option. And again, we have the, you're spending less than $300 and you're getting over $800 worth of stuff in this one, and that includes the freebies as well. So we have lots of different options, regardless of whether you're like ready to dive in head first, or you just kind of want to get started and say, oh, I just want to check out the oils. Let's put it on ER so I get those free points. Whatever you want to do, we are here to help you. I just want to make sure that you know you have all of the information that you need at your fingertips. You don't have to remember it all. I don't ever want anybody to feel overwhelmed. I know everybody else that shared would feel the same way. Don't feel like you need to know everything. You need to remember everything. You need to write everything down. We are all here to help you through the process. So you can get started at any point and call on us and be like, what did you say peppermint was good for? I can't remember. I don't know what to do with this Raven. What is this pan away for? Like, we are here. You don't have to oil alone. We are here to help you through it. And that's why these calls are great. We have the groups where we help each other out. And we're going to do these calls more often. By the way, thank you for bearing with us. We are a little bit over where we wanted to be on time. This is our first one, kind of doing this all together. We will get them a little more well-oiled, and we'll keep doing this. So keep sharing, keep telling your friends, keep inviting your friends, keep asking your questions, and contact the person that invited you to this class. Reach out to them. If you haven't gotten started, tell them you're ready to get started. If you have, tell them, hey, I have an aunt, a cousin, a friend who would benefit from one of these. How do I get them in a class like this? And we'll walk you through the process. So thank you all so much. Thank you to all of you who shared. And I think we can go ahead and stop the recording. And if anyone